Okay, Jordan. Like a senior pet that you refuse to put down. American Dad, Family Guy, The Simpsons, and Bob's Burgers have been renewed for Jordan. You're never gonna guess how many seasons.
Till 40.
Say again. You said that really.
The Simpsons are going until the 40th season.
What? Can't we sit on the couch without something happening?
Well, okay. How many? A number. Give me a rough number. How many seasons do you think more?
4.
Yeah, it's 4. 4 more seasons. Yeah, that
I
is
I know. I
sad.
saw that, and it made me roll my eyes. Although I want to say the only one, because you said a pet, old pet that needs to be put down. The only show which I personally don't think fits into that category yet, it's not quite there, is Bob's
I
Burgers.
mean, it's getting there. It's in the double digits. I'm pretty sure. Wait, what season on Bob Burger? What season are they on? What does this article say? I'm pretty sure they're
Yeah,
in
I
the
think they're
double
on.
digits.
I think they're on 15th.
Yeah, and like Family Guy
But
is like
that's
on
not
its 20th.
that's that's not this to me. 15th is not the same as 36th.
Oh yeah, I don't know. That's still a lot of television. But you're right.
Sure,
It's not as
but they're
quite as
not. They're not
geriatric as The Simpsons is. I'll give you that.
like I would say like if we're giving ages, The Simpsons is like 80.
Yeah,
Like it's
okay.
like 80. It needs to be
It
like
needs
it
to
needs
be.
to be in a home. You need to stop making it work. Family Guy, and like American Dad, they're like 60.
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah,
old.
yeah,
They maybe have like a year or two left before they really should stop working. Um, Bob's Burger, I think, is like in its 50s.
yeah.
Like it's old, but it's not old enough that it can't work for another 10 years.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, yeah, okay, fine. I'll give you. Although I don't know.
Not
Um,
10, but you know what I mean.
yeah.
Like reasonably,
I don't know that it needs
reasonably, like
10 more
another,
seasons.
another like 4, maybe 5.
But
Like that I could see,
I
but
understand why this has been extended by so long because animation takes a while. So like that's why they renew them in such big chunks. But like yeah, one of the
no, I don't agree with that assessment because like shows like uh oh my God, why am I blanking on its name? Rick Sanchez, Rick and Morty. Um, those only get renewed by or like
Rick and Morty. No,
uh
Rick and Morty got a big batch, like 140 episode order that they're still not through. Something like that.
uh,
My numbers may be off, but it's something like that.
Invincible or like shows like that though are only one season at a time.
Yeah, those tend to get renewed. Like yeah, about by the time the third ones come out, they usually announce it. But yeah, that's because they're streaming shows, and streaming shows suck. Technically speaking, Simpsons and Family Guy
I
and
mean,
that
Simpsons and that are streaming shows too
they're still
at
cable
this
technically.
point.
They're technically still cable. They still go out to
Uh-huh.
cable. Yeah. Like American Dad's going. It was on TBS. It's going back to Fox for the first time in I can't remember how many years, but it's been a while. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
fair enough.
and it's gonna be interesting because like for whatever reason on TBS you can say shit. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. When we were talking about miracle workers, they could say shit shoveler. That's a TBS show. American Dad
So
on TBS, they can say shit.
here's the
They
question.
can't say the F word, but
Uh,
they can say shit.
do you think when the actors who play all the characters on The Simpsons die that they'll finally let the show die?
I
Or
think
are they just going to use AI to replace all the voices and keep the show going forever?
seemingly they'll recast because the woman who plays I don't remember all the characters she plays, but they just announced one of the characters they recasted was Jimbo. Patricia McNeil, something McNeil. Hold on.
Doesn't matter.
But yeah, so seemingly they'll recast, and I mean that's what they did with.
That's upsetting.
That's
So
it. Yeah,
so
it's
they will They will literally never cancel The Simpsons. Then,
It's
Justin.
Pamela
If they,
Hayden, who played. She was Millhouse.
ew, gross. So Millhouse sounds wrong now.
Millhouse. Well, I don't know if they've recast Millhouse, but they recast the Jimbo the bully.
Well, if that's the person that plays the same character, then yes, they will have to have replaced Millhouse if it's one person.
Oh
that
yeah, no.
they've
What I'm saying
recast.
is though is they. I don't know if the person doing the Jimbo voice is also doing Millhouse. Like I don't know if it's the same situation or if it's going to be a different actress or actor.
Well, my point is that's
Maybe like in a
that's an
person.
irrelevant. That's an irrelevant statement. My statement is that Millhouse will sound wrong because it's not the person that's played them for the past 40
Oh,
years.
yeah, maybe look at a
Who
suitable
who,
sound alike.
who they get to play it is irrelevant. It's now not the right voice, no matter what.
They might find a suitable sound alike. I
They
mean, to
can
be
have the
fair.
best sound alike in the world, but it won't sound right because it's not the same voice.
I mean, yeah, okay. Um, um,
And that's really sad to hear
that
because yeah, it means
is
that the Simpsons
not.
will never. That means the Simpsons will never die because as these other voice actors, as Homer goes away, they'll just get a Homer sound alike and keep the show going.
Here's what I will say. If the Simpsons could go the way of the Hanna Barbera characters, we're going to talk about them in a moment. But in the sense
Where they
that
become timeless.
yeah, where it's like there's like five like there was like five different people or ish, three or four different people who played Yogi Bear, and it all sounds like Yogi Bear. The same thing with like Fred Flintstone or like those guys. Yeah. If someone could, there is someone out there who can do a halfway. There's tons of them. You see them on the internet all the time of people who can do like really good impressions of these characters. Like a really good example is there's a guy who does. I can't remember what the name of the. I'll maybe I'll put it in the description. I'll tell you later once I look it up. But he does Goku. He does an impersonation of Goku that was so good that Sean Schimmel threatened to sue him, and he had to like actually message or Sean Schimmel thought he was AI, and so he had to actually message Sean Schimmel like, yeah, no, that's me. It's not AI.
I mean, that's great. In terms of The Simpsons, that's not really my point. My point is they've done everything.
No. But
It's not. It's not. It's not like a Flintstones where there's things that they could still do. They've done everything with The Simpsons.
yeah, but my
Even
point
if they
is,
have a person that can just replace the character, the show needs to die.
I
It
mean, it
needs to
does.
go away for like a period of time.
I do think that yeah, that show needs to be retired. But I mean, to be fair, there's people out there who believe with The Simpsons specifically. When it comes to Family Guy, I don't think there's any heart left in it. I still think there's heart in American Dad, which is why I'm not against American Dad. Family Guy, there are Simpsons. There's definitely new life being breathed into it with new writers. My issue isn't with the writing. I actually think I saw an episode recently that made me laugh. For me, it's the voices are like they all sound tired, and like yeah, if you could find like for example a really good Marge sound alike that is indiscernible, and the
I mean,
writing
for
is so
me, there
sharp. Why not?
for certain characters, for me, there are easy workarounds for how you could continue The Simpsons and have new people playing. Like for example, like Lisa, without having to have it be an exact sound alike. Age them.
Yeah,
Have it be where like yeah, the next season or whatever. Bart's in the what grade is he always in? Fourth grade,
yeah,
fifth grade, sixth grade, or whatever. And so now his voice can sound slightly older. You can have a boy come in and be Bart,
yeah.
like an actual boy, come in and be Bart, and he can sound a bit different, and it won't be as jarring because you've instead of having him try to be the same eternal ageless character, you age them and you change it.
Or like another example of like
Apparently, part of your Broadway world is of the firm opinion that I assume she means The Simpsons and not The Simmons, but The Simpsons just needs to end.
I look
I
okay.
agree.
Um, another great example of like characters which hey, if you get someone who can do it well, you don't really care. Is when we recently talked about the Daffy Duck Porky Pig movie where that his Daffy Duck is so good You're like, yeah, I could see the Simpsons elevating to that level of like they're that timeless. Where yeah, you have people in the future who eventually, when Dan Castellaneta retires, he'll have a Goofy or a Mickey, where it's a character that you can pass on. I can see them moving into pop culture in that way.
I would agree. I would agree
Them
if the
specifically. Them
Simpsons.
specifically.
I would agree if the Simpsons hadn't had 36 continuous, never-ending, never-stopping seasons of television that have been on since the 80s.
Yeah.
I would agree. The reason to me that because I understand what you're saying, but there is a distinction between the two, where the like Bugs Bunny, Daffy, and them, and Mickey and Goofy and them, they've had a presence. Like they've been in individual projects for that period of time, but they haven't been in one long, continuous, overarching, never-ending story, which has never stopped. There's a difference between the two, in my opinion.
I
So,
mean, yeah.
in order for me, for the Simpsons to be able to be reinvent like re they it needs to stop and go away for a bit, and then you can bring it back and you can make them into timeless characters, but you need to give them some time so that they can turn into that, if that makes
I
sense.
certainly don't think
Also,
4 more
uh,
seasons.
also, part of your Broadway world says stupid typo. Yes, I meant The Simpsons. It's gone on for too many seasons, and that's my point. Like, if it had been like, if you had had some breaks, if you had been uh, like even 10 seasons, and then you went away for like 5 years or something, and then came back and then made more of the show. Like, it's
I
because it's
mean,
been one
but
long continuous stretch of never stopping, never taking a break, never doing anything else or putting the characters or in anything else. Like, the biggest thing that
um,
the Simpsons have done that's been different was their movie, which was just as like, it just felt like an episode of the show.
I will say, hey man, if people still watch those shows enough to keep them on the air, good for them. Good
Part of
for
your
them.
Broadway world says at least Family Guy changes their story arcs to make it more interesting.
I
That's kind of the thing. Is like, I
not
I
really.
don't know that I agree with that, but
They all have the same 5 stories.
that's the thing about the Simpsons, though, is yeah, it's been
I will say, Family
it,
Guy hasn't been
it
afraid to
don't
take their characters. Like they do shift their characters a little bit, so like they're not all the same. I mean, to be fair, the Simpsons and modern Simpsons has tried to do that. They've tried to make some swings, but it's like it's kind of feeling like, yeah, you know what, this would have been interesting 10 years ago, but like now it's like, okay, yeah, that's why I'm like, the writing is still sharp. Like apparently, I don't watch it a ton, but I see it in isolated clips, and it's like, yeah, it's funny, it's good stuff.
and I guess also the difference for me with the
I would
Simpsons
say
of
it's comparable to old Simpsons.
why I would say that it would struggle for me to turn them into like the same feeling that the Looney Tunes. I They already do. They already evoke those emotions. They're timeless. You could stop making it, and there's 36 seasons of television that you could have on syndication and on streaming and on all these other things that make them just like that. They are like the Looney Tunes. They are like Mickey Mouse. They are a presence that have always been around and will always be around in the things they've already created.
I mean,
They don't need to go on.
they are doing like them in shorts and stuff, but we got so wildly away from the point of like you could find a suitable voice match for Millhouse that would be in I don't think that they've really nailed it with the guy who's doing Carl, but
But the thing is just because you can doesn't mean you
I
should.
don't think the bully characters necessarily, but it'd be a shame to see Millhouse go away. Although, I mean, I think you're in a place where you could maybe introduce a new best friend character and write Millhouse out. You could try it. I
I
mean, like
mean, my
they have
point
made
was more.
continuity changes on that show. Like I saw was watching a newer episode that I had to turn off because I was lost because out of nowhere, comic book guy has a wife who's an Asian woman. It was very strange.
I mean, my point was more just hashtag cancel the Simpsons.
I'm not necessarily 100% for that, But I am if you are.
You've been for it. You've been for that for decades, and you're now all of a sudden fucking flipping on me. Who the fuck are you, and what have you done with Justin? Get the fuck out of here.
What I'm saying is if hashtag make the Simpsons movie 2 and end it that way.
Okay, all right, I'll give you that, but I don't want until the 40th fucking season before we do it.
4 seasons is kind of an odd number. I always every year I'm surprised when they're like, yeah, we're making more. I'm like, oh, right, okay. Anyway,
do a Simpsons do a Simpsons movie, have it be where Bart finally graduates to the fifth grade, and then that way it doesn't just fall into the trap of it's something they could do on the show, because they would never have them get older on the show.
It's true.
Have it be that they're finally getting older. Have that be the point, and then have the final scene of the movie have like a time jump or something, or like a montage where we see them through the years, and then we don't have that Harry Potter final scene where they're on where we see them growing up. We just have the montage of them growing older, and that's the final scene in the movie, and it cuts to black.
All right, accept that. Hey everybody, it's NCAR Justin here again. Let me know down in the comments, do you agree? Should The Simpsons be cancelled? Should Family Guy be cancelled? Should Bob's Burgers? Should American Dad? Are they too old? Have they been around too long? Has it gotten sad? Let me know down in the comments down below. In the meantime, if you would like to see the full podcast that this episode is from, you can click the box on the right, and that's going to take you to our Hanna-Barbera special, where we talked about all sorts of wacky, zany Hanna-Barbera characters. Or you can click the box on the right, and that's going to take you to a random video that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy. Otherwise, hit subscribe if you haven't already, leave us a like if you could, it really helps us out, and we'll see you all in the next video.